Latter-day Saints.
Utah's new law banning fluoride in the water supply is in the spotlight today as Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is in town. News specialist Andrew Adams was at a news conference this afternoon to learn a little bit more. Andrew, what do you have to say?
Well, Kennedy applauded the work of state lawmakers and said more states should consider banning fluoride from water supplies. Now, it was a crowded room as the Health and Human Services Secretary and EPA Administrator joined Republican state lawmakers talking about that and a couple other laws that fall in line with the Make America Healthy Again initiative. But fluoride got most of the talk. State lawmakers said taking fluoride out of the water supply and leaving fluoride use up to families is a move that supports personal choice. Kennedy said a very recent study suggests an IQ loss in children.
In Europe, most of the nations have already banned fluoride, and their cavities have not increased. And, there's no way to measure without some kind of observational study an increase in IQ until many years down the road. When the indicators are that fluoride damages IQ in the same way that leaded gasoline.
The new law, which was passed by Utah lawmakers as House Bill 81, bars cities from adding fluoride to public water systems. The move has faced intense criticism from dentists and doctors in the state who say the move runs contrary to decades of accepted science. They say the net result will be more dental and health issues, which will end up costing Utahns more in the long run. Now, the Environmental Protection Agency administrator said that it also plans to review its recommendations. The agency will review its recommendations and possibly make changes depending on the latest science. Back to you guys.
All right, Andrew Adams live for us tonight. Thanks, Andrew. Well, to Texas now, where the next.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr. in town to talk about a new Utah law on fluoride in the water. What he had to say coming up.
Utah.
Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is in town today, applauding multiple new laws here in Utah, in step with the Make America Healthy Again initiative. He focused on Utah's new law banning fluoride from public water systems. It's a move drawing intense opposition as well. This specialist Andrew Adams live now with more on the story. Hey, Andrew.
Hey, yeah, dental health advocates have blasted that new law, saying it flies in the face of decades of established science. Well, Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says there's newer research that paints a concerning picture about fluoride.
I hope we recognize what an amazing day it is for Utah.
Inside a secure building at the U of U.
Thank you, Senator Kennedy, Administrator Zeldin. Thank you so much for your time.
Top Trump administration officials applauded Utah.
It has emerged as the leader in making America healthy again.
Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. said banning fluoride from public water supplies is a move he supports.
Now we know that there is no systemic advantage, a zero systemic advantage, and that the only advantage comes from topical application.
Kennedy pointed to recent research that found negative health effects from fluoride, including reduced IQ in children. And the EPA's administrator said that agency has also taken note.
So what EPA is going to do is go back and look at these studies that have come out since July of 2024, and we're prepared to act based on these science.
Simply changing Utah's law wasn't without opposition. Dentists and doctors pointed to decades of accepted science behind fluoridated water providing dental and health benefits.
I do feel like there is some science doubting here.
Advocates today said there will be a net cost to Utah families.
We think the impact with the increase in decay will cause more children to be out of school. It'll cause more people to not be working.
The science indicates that it affects kidney health, it affects liver health.
Kennedy says he believes the benefit of removing fluoride from water supplies will become evident in time.
And I'm very, very proud of this state for being the first state to ban it, and I hope many more will come.
Well, Utah lawmakers said today the new law will give families the opportunity to choose whether or not that they want supplemental fluoride. They also pointed out that the law makes it easier for families to obtain fluoride through a prescription. Back to you guys.
All right, Andrew Adams live for us this evening. Andrew, thank you.
Utah is the second
Points down.
3 members of the president's cabinet were in Utah today. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. drew the most attention. He applauded a number of new state laws, namely the ban on adding fluoride to water systems.
Now we know that there is no systemic advantage, a zero systemic advantage, and that the only advantage comes from topical application.
The secretary said he plans to tell the CDC to stop recommending adding fluoride to the water, pointing to recent research finding negative effects from fluoride, including reduced IQ in children. But there is opposition to Utah's law.
I do feel like there is some science doubting here.
The Utah Oral Health Coalition says removing fluoride will result in more tooth decay that will end up costing families. Today, family members